Hello, I am TheZOMBIEJ. Good evening after that last rant video, and which wasn't really much ranting, there wasn't much screaming, but there was to some extent. So I have a list video for y'all. Let me drink some tea first. It's been a while since I did a Bionicle related list, so with that being said, this is the top 15 Matoran. So prepare yourselves. Number 15. Number 15, I will say there is a number of multi-Matoran slots in this, you have multiple Matoran per, number. But, I mean, yeah, let's just go. Number 16 is Copique and Matoro. Yeah, I know you're probably thinking, Matoro at number 15, why? Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, he killed himself to save the Matoran universe. That's great, but he was a Toa, not a Matoran. Matoro was definitely an important Matoran. A little overrated, but still. His importance was, well, he was the translator for Mr. Taraga, who I still have the Taraga set over there. So, and Copique, he was the silent one. He was kind of a weirdie. There wasn't really much you could really do with Copique. I mean, he was kind of he was part of the Chronicler's company, and he had abilities. He can take a icicle or a snow sickle or whatever the hell, and mold it into a key, some sort, to open a door. And that was pretty cool. And Matoro, well, the reason why he's so low on this list, a little overrated. Stop worshiping him. Shut up. Number 14 is Gavla. Yeah, going to 2008, this is my favorite of the Shadow Matorans. Gavla. She was cool. I feel sorry for her because she was the first Av Matoran to receive, to have her light drained out of her by shadow leeches, and thus why she has bat wings, and she looks like a mythological demon of some sort. She's still pretty interesting character. I do feel bad for her, but it's understandable. Vampra did have to have some Matoran counterpart, so of course Gavla was one I feel bad for. So number 13 is Dekar. Yes, Dekar, the only 2007 Matoran. Nope. Deflak is not on here, neither is Sarda, neither is Idris, whatever. So, there's not that many Matoran in 2007, but Dekar is important because he eventually became a hero, and the Mask of Life turned him into the second coming of Hydraxon, which is pretty fucking cool, actually, and this Hydraxon came back with a vengeance, even though his original mask was revealed to him by Nocturne, and still, Hydraxon kicked Nocturne's ass. And Dekar was still, for the most part, pretty alright Matoran, but he's only number 13 on this list. Number 12 is another tie between, a Po Matoran and an Onu Matoran. Hafu and Taipu. Why do I put these two Matorans side by side? Well, it's because they get confused. They changed the masks in Minog and Minog 2. Even Bionicle Mask of Light had Hafu with a Noble Ruru. So it's like, was the Ruru supposed to be Hafu's all along, and Taipu was supposed to have the Picari? I don't know. Whatever. But Hafu was kind of he was kind of an interesting character. You know, he was sort of a bit of a wisecracker. You know, he kind of was a bit arrogant in a way, in the way he you know, he likes to show off, and you know, his creations. He loves his creations, and yeah, he makes statues and whatnot. And he was upset when he had to knock him down in order to block the Borak from invading Pokoro, whatever. Didn't stop the Borak, because they would melt him anyway. So yeah. And Taipu, he's a strong Matoran. I mean, he's from Onukoro, so of course. Number 11 is another tie between two Onu Matoran this time, and that's Nuparu and Onipu. Onipu, the what is it? The Usul crabs. He was, you know, the keeper of the Usul crabs, and his the Usulry. You know, there's that thing, and he also seemed to have a bit of a leadership aspect to him that seemed to have been unnoticed. So Onipu kind of got the short end of the stick, because it seemed like Nuparu seemingly was more important, apparently, and Nuparu did invent the Boxor. He was an engineer, he was an inventor, which was pretty cool, and then he became a Toa. And his Toa in Ica version actually looks pretty fucking awesome. Alexa, stop. So yeah, Nuparu and Onipu at number 11. There you go. Number 10 is Jaller. Why is Jaller this low on the list? Shut up, that's why. The captain of the guard, while he does sometimes have an attitude problem, he does, you know, take pride in his village and being, you know, trying to protect his village, even though Tahu is the Toa that, you know, protects the village. Jaller, or Jala, whatever, definitely was important, and after, you know, Takora was destroyed, it's like his job was void. And, well, we all know what happened. He was killed, then he got resurrected, and then, well, he became a Toa in Ica, and, well, and then a Toa Mari, and then, yeah, so Jaller definitely had an important role in the Matoran universe, and there, he was definitely a memorable one. And hey, we got the Chronicles of Jaller series from you know, Jaller Local. That was quite fun. So number 9 is his best friend Takua. Yes, Takua. He was a Tom Matoran at one point, but then was retconned into being a F Matoran, a Matoran of Light, which is why he was able to put on the Mask of Light and become a Tom Matoran, the Toa of Light. Sorry. Takua was always the oddball out. It seemed like he was a bit of an outcast, but he was willing to help. He was willing to do basically chores for the, you know, carry out tasks for the Turaga. And he did so with success. And then he became the Herald of the 7th Toa. Turned out he was the 7th Toa. And there you go. So he had quite a legacy, and his arc definitely came to a defining close when the stars came out. And yeah, if you want my opinion on the stars, just watch the rant video. It's in the playlist. So yeah, number 8 is 2 Matoran, and that is Kongu and Tamaru. Kongu, because, yeah, he became a Toa in Aika, and that's... Retard issue with a gun. Yeah. That is Kongu. I'll have a Kongu video out at some point. But Kongu, you know, the tree speak thing got a little kind of weird every now and then. Obviously, you know, the Lake Horo Matorans have this tree speak thing, which is kind of funny and kind of weird and interesting. Kongu definitely had, you know, he embraced this tree speak, and so did Tamaru to an extent. Tamaru, for some reason, at first he didn't know, like, how to, you know, air leap, or he couldn't really fly or whatever, you know. So, but, you know, he was still a memorable character from Manaag. And, of course, Kongu was definitely, you know, these were 2 key Matoran in the Manaag story, the game, and in the story in general. They played their parts rather well. Number 7 is 2 more Matoran, but from different islands. So we have Piruk and Orcam. Orcam, because we got, you know, the thing with Orcam is we got a biotuber by the name of Toa Orcam, and we all know why. It's because of Orcam. Orcam, despite his name being kind of weird, I don't know what to make of it. He was an interesting Matoran, you know. That's all I could really say. Piruk, he had claws for hands, basically. Onua claws for hands. Yeah. And there's not really much I could say about Piruk, other than I like his design. Obviously, the set design, it looks pretty cool. And the Onua claws were a great choice, because why not? Number 6 is Dalu. Dalu got Matoran from Voyanui. And it was once said that she admitted that she had anger issues. Yeah, Dalu had some anger issues to work out, and by the end of G1, it seemed like she probably figured those out, I guess. So, she had a bit of a leader aspect to her, like she was a leader in a way, I guess you could say. She was basically a no-nonsense sort of type, and she was cool. She carried 2 staves of light, but the problem is those were named different weapons of some sort. I can't remember the name of those. But Dalu, pretty cool. Number 5 is Vizola. Yes, Metru Nui ga Matoran. I like Vizola. I think she's cool. Set-wise, I still have my rebuilt set. I do like the Taraga Honor was mask in the what was it, silver. It was a great color scheme for the Matoran of 2004 in general, with their masks being a muted color scheme, like fuck, you know what I'm talking about. It's interesting, and as far as I'm concerned, Vizola is probably my favorite Metru Matoran. Yeah. Bite me. Number 4 is a tie between Huki and Maku. And this is because of their relationship. Yes, we all know Huki is the best at playing what's the sport? Why can't I remember? Coley. He was the best at playing Coley, and he seemed to kick ass. He did pretty well. Maku. Not sure what she was famous for, other than, you know, having a stuffed animal, you know, little chibi stuffed, Hookie, in her hut. And obviously, Hookie had a chibi stuffed, Maku. The Templar games were just so fun. But yeah, Maku and Hookie were definitely an interesting couple. These were two unique individual Matoran, and they were interesting. Number 3 is Nobuo. Fucking Christ. Nobuo is not canon, but at the same time, it was like the greatest thing, discovery of the Legend of Matanui, you know. Nobuo was discovered in the files and this cutscene, and he just became a meme of a Matoran, you know. So Nobuo was an Onu Matoran with a purple How, and while technically there was a purple How Matoran in the background, kind of looping in the background, in the Borak animations, I guess some people decided to discount that, because technically there wasn't a purple How Matoran in canon, but then there's the, yeah. But Nobuo, it was funny. The fun was fun while it lasted, and Nobuo was probably one of the greatest discoveries when it came to the Legend of Matanui, other than the music and the game itself. I mean, seriously, Nobuo, he almost had to be on this list. You might be upset that he's not number 1. Number 2 is Kapuro. Yeah, Kapuro's number 2. He's not number 1. He's number 2 because, well, his arc was really kind of almost non-existent. I mean, yeah, he was the slow Matoran that can go faster than a speeding bullet, even though he walks slow. Yeah, his whole arc was just kind of weird, but yeah, you know, I can't deny that Kapuro definitely was a great Matoran. He was part of the Chroniclers company, and yeah, I enjoyed his existence as a Matoran. And the problem with Kapura, besides him being a little silly, which I guess the silliness is fine, but whatever, is the inconsistency with the mask. Oh yeah, so in Matanui Online game, he had a red Picari, but somewhere else he had a red Ruru? Which one is the official? I like to think that the Picari was official, because, you know, that's just how I've known Kapura to have that mask all these years, and so it made sense. The Ruru, I mean, yeah, you could put the red Ruru on Kapura if you can assemble the parts. Yeah, you could put a red Ruru on Kapura, and it still looks fine. And in fact, the Legend of Matanui had a Kapura with a red Ruru, and unfortunately, well, I guess Templar decided to give him a Picari because, honestly, I feel like he works better with a Picari in red, because, I don't know, it looks cooler. So there you go. But if Kapura was supposed to have, officially have a Ruru, then, I'm not sure if I'm for it or against it. but still an option, I guess. But yeah, Kapura, despite being a little silly, he's he's still undeniably an interesting and fun Matoran. Number 1, though, for me is Holly. You're probably pissed at me about this because I love Holly. I mean, come on, I still have my Holly 2003 Matoran over here. All this stuff. And, you know, I stare at her. Yeah, Holly was cool. She had a bit of sass to her, I guess you could say. At least when it came to the movie, Mask of Light. But, because... the voice actress, I guess, was told to do that, to give Holly a bit of sass, I guess. And she was an interesting character. Holly was definitely one that had sort of feelings for Jollar. I mean, that's a thing, you know. It seemed like that there was like a relationship thing going on in Mask of Light. It was kind of a bit of, I don't want to say flirtatious, but, you know, it was subtle. It was very subtle. I mean, really. But, still. Holly was a great character, you know. After the storm, you know, during Motunui Online Game 2, where she is the main character, she goes around to each village, you know, performs tasks, does stuff, and gains all this knowledge and abilities and whatnot, and basically plays Koli with Maku, and, you know, against other folks from other villages, and collects things and whatnot. And I mean, that's basically what you do in Motunui Online Game 2. I mean, overall, Holly definitely seems like an underrated character. Maybe not, I don't know. But she's definitely a good character, in my opinion. I feel like she was not as utilized in terms of her Matoran variant, because we didn't see a Matoran named Holly until the Borak animations. And that's bullshit, seriously. I mean, if Holly existed in the first 3 years, if they had a character named Holly, they should have introduced her in the first year. Not the second year. I mean, come on. So, yeah. I like Holly. I think she's awesome. She definitely wouldn't be as... well, her mask was the Cow, obviously, the original Great Cow. And, she looks better with that than any other mask in blue. And, yeah, so... Holly, my favorite Matoran, my favorite God Matoran, my favorite Matoran overall. So yeah, that is my list of top 15 Matoran, even though there's more like 15, more like 21. But yeah, so what are your favorite Matorans in the put that in the comment section below. And stay tuned for more Bionicle-related content, as well as more LEGO stuff as well, and maybe I'll post some music-related content as well. I will have a Kongu video out soon, as soon as I possibly can. But yeah, stay tuned for more videos. I am TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks there. Have a good fucking day, and peace.